Hey, welcome everyone to tonight's Leap of Faith on the Rise September kickoff. There is a lot to cover logistically. So I'm just going to kind of jump in with what we're looking at for September. And then we're just going to kind of talk about how we're going to approach that. So as all things, I'm thankful that it's about the third before we're talking because stuff came out the first and then some more details in the second. And so I'm glad that I finally had some time to research and read a little bit more about some of the stuff that's coming out with incentives and so forth. So this month's theme via corporate is Maui State of Mind. And the theme is incentives for anyone adding customers and ambassadors, 3, 6, and 9. I am so happy about this, you guys, because I know there was a lot of frustration and a lot of disappointment out of our Leaders Retreat contest this year. Obviously, that is no elephant in the room here. The qualifications were a little bit different. We do have 3 people to congratulate: Ashley Moline, and Faith Mills, and Sarah Fisher, all 3 of them. And Sarah's will officially come when all those silvers points come through. But those 3 have all qualified for Leaders Retreat, which is amazing. We all know what a huge feat that was and a victory. And that goes to show it pays off to be consistent in your business. And if I can just give a really big shout out to those 3, you guys, those are the 3 that I saw most consistency out of the entire summer. They worked all the time. They were present. And they had new people always joining them every single month, and they were working on getting them silver. And so just a huge shout out to all of them. They absolutely deserve that. And I'm excited to hear, I know the options there, and a lot of people I've heard, the $500 option to not attend is there as well. So I don't know if they'll all be attending or not. But just being able to say that you qualified for one of the hardest contests ever is incredible. So that being said, that is behind us. It is behind us, and I think hopefully there are a lot of lessons learned on that contest. One of the things that I noticed is it was very heavy on growing a team. And we have an amazing culture and community here where we love to help anyone and everyone, whether they are here to do the business with us or they're here to just try the products and be happy. And I think that's one of the things that I noticed with this contest and with how everyone worked is when that customer piece was taken out, it really shut a lot of people down. They started having those thoughts in their minds of well, I can't qualify for that. I'm not growing my team like that. That's not what I'm doing. And that is old thoughts, and those are behind us. We have new thoughts now, and we have a new approach. And this contest, I think, is going to really help set us up. With the consistency clubs and things that we have had in the past 2 years, one of the things they always preached was a balanced business. And I'm so thankful they're focusing on that this month of customers and ambassadors. Okay. So I don't have it out yet because I have yet to think. I will be super transparent. My head is finally coming above water. My 4th child has finally started school. And I have a lot of exciting things and things I want to implement and things that I want to do. But y'all have to understand, and thank you for all the grace that you've given me. It's been a long month of transitions and projects and things that have been going on here. Now, not excuses, just reality. So thank you for the grace in that. But I am excited for where Reboot is going to go. If you're not in that group, hopefully you will be. We're going to be doing a lot more here this month. And if you have anyone who wants some more of that one-on-one attention, Reboot group is the place to be. So, okay, all the things, the Maui State of Mind, like I said, that's that incentive for 3, 6, or 9 added this month. You can qualify. They did release that if all of them of the 3 were ambassadors, the 6 or the 9, you will get to pick 2 prizes out of each category. Not just, it'll be 1 if you get 3 customers or so forth. But I kind of lost my train of thought. The one thing I was about to say is the one incentive that I'm going to do this month is for people hitting 500 PV, 1,000 PV, 1,500 PV, and 2,000 PV. One of the things I know true in this business is when we gain customers and we have that PV where it needs to be. We have a balanced business. We have happy people, happy customers that are trying our products. We are having happy wholesalers who are getting a good chunk of some commission back, because we know over 500 PV, it's 25% commission. And that also helps you for that opportunity of when you get a free enrollment code, you have someone who already loves the products and have tried it, they're an opportunity to upgrade. Okay. So I'm going to be encouraging that. And I don't know what that's going to look like yet. Haven't had time to process that, but I will. Now, the other thing, did you all see the Hello Happy box today? Okay. So it is something that is going to be available to all wholesalers for $79.95. And it is basically a sampling box to host a sip and see. It comes with samples. It comes with like a tablecloth and some cups and just a variety of things, but it also comes with 3 free enrollment codes. Okay, so that's basically $120 that you're paying $79.95 for, plus all the samples and everything that are in there. So Hello Happy is the code for free shipping to order that box. Only one per account, one per account. So if you have any questions on that, I just forwarded or shared the video from the corporate page to our team page here tonight. Okay, I'm just moving on. If you guys have questions, don't hesitate to just say, hey, Trace, like, you guys can just ask. Okay, so next, our calendar. Our calendar is going to be similar to what we have in the last couple months, but with a pretty big change. I think that it won't affect our time commitment or anything, but I hope it affects our attendance, or I guess our attention and drawing new people in. So I will put these dates out there, but September 9th is a Monday. We're going to have a team call with a guest speaker, and that will be at 8:30 Central Standard Time on Monday the 9th, because it's an East Coast person. So just save the date for that. And Shannon, will you announce that just this weekend? I'll put the team called dates in there, but if you could just announce the speaker.
Yep.
And then on September 23rd, we will also have another team call, but that will be at 9 p.m. And Shannon and I will do a Hawaii recap, because of course we have training while we're in Hawaii. So can't wait to share who we hear from. We still don't even know who our speaker is, so I'll be anxious to hear. Okay, the big change that we are making this month is, instead of doing any online event that is like a whole team event, we are going to do 2 Wellness Wednesdays on our customer page. Okay, if you haven't noticed, we've tried a couple different things. We are trying to build community and culture in our customer page that helps people see the value in taking care of themselves and helping, whether it's that Actively Balanced thing that we ran. Shannon's really trying to build up these back to school tips. So if you guys can jump over there and kind of share some of that too. So valuable for people who are, I still feel like, how many first days did we have today? Like, people are still trying to get into the back to school routine, like a whole lot. So I know some people have been in it for 2 weeks, some even a month, but the transition continues for a couple more weeks of people trying to get organized in their home, organized on their health goals, on their exercise, on their meal planning, whatever. So we're trying to share and add value as much as we can in that customer page. Okay. So not only is that our customer page for all of that, but it's also our ATMing page that has been very low attendance for ATMing, self-included. And so I really want us to get back into that, because it is the one page that we want anyone who is looking at Plexus or using it Plexus for our team on that page. That is the page that we need to have everybody in, okay? For a couple reasons. One, we're going to start this Wellness Wednesday. The first one is going to be on September 11th. And it'll probably be 8:30-ish. We haven't fully decided, but you guys, it isn't going to be like an online event where it's product. Like, that page is for product knowledge. The Wellness Wednesday is going to be for belief, inspire, educate. Belief, inspire, educate. That's what we want. We want people who are on that page and who are following to hear more stories. We're going to have guests come in and speak on there, where then that's going to give you one more video that you can tag someone in. So it's not just a post that talks about something. It's actually someone going live there and telling their story. So hopefully that will help a little bit more with that third-party validation in our community, okay? So the other reason that we want them in there is because in less than 2 weeks, we are off to Hawaii, and we have Mahalo Madness that is once again going to be going on the customer page. I've done it for 2 years, and we're going to do it again with a little different twist this year, adding the newer products in, but we're going to be giving away free product. And it's a place to build community, build some attraction once again. So we want people in that customer page so that we can offer that to them, even if they're brand new and haven't signed up before. So Wellness Wednesday will be on the 11th, and we'll do another one on the 25th. The week of the 16th through the 20th, that week is the Mahalo Madness week, and then we will also have something going on the team page for building some belief and some action items to keep things rolling while we are not 100% present, okay? So that's what the September calendar looks like. I will put some of those specific things out there. Let's see. Oh, back to the reason we're doing the Wellness Wednesday. We love online events, but we're drawing away from you guys taking ownership in them. They're getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And it's because those of us that are on here right now, we've been here for a little while, and we don't necessarily feel that that's the need that we have to like source someone. We reach out, we do our 3-way chats, we do our messages, we tag them in the customer page, and that's sufficient for us. Well, someone brand new, they need an online event. They need a launch event. They need an opportunity to, one, be educated on the products and the opportunity, but also a spot for them to share with their family and friends. So an online launch event is perfect to say, hey, I want to share with you something that I'm doing. My friend is, going to help me, whether that's you, your sponsor, whatever, just to host a launch event. We have all the posts, all the materials, all the things that you would need to host these events. Like, you do not have to create anything or reinvent the wheel. It is so easy. And we get them on the Jewel page all the time. People are recreating them. So if you you need to see the potential or the value in those events, because they really are great. But I think what we need to do more of, like on the bigger scale of things, is just continually bringing in people from the outside to add value and inspire, because we all need to maintain our belief and we need to build our belief. And I feel that's something that we've lost here in our community and our team, over some time. And so that's why I want to get those Wellness Wednesdays back, because our healthy happy hours that we used to have on those Thursdays, and where we bring people in, like, they always just encourage, when you hear those. And so that's why we're doing that. I think that's it for logistics. Any questions on all that? Okay. The last just like 10, 15 minutes, I wanted to share some thoughts and some things. It was this past Sunday's sermon was one of the best. I texted Shannon immediately afterwards, and I was like, whoa, this was just what we were talking about. It was so spot on. And it was like totally one of those things where I walked out, and Emily and I attend the same church, and I attend the first service before her. And then she walks in, and her and Dan, and I was like, oh my gosh, this message was so good. And then I was serving, and they walked out, and they're like, oh my gosh, we need to do a training on this. I was like, no, I'm going to share 2 things, and then I'm going to share the podcast with y'all, because I can't preach. I can't bring to you what this guy brought, but I want to share with you a couple like really just good things that like stuck out to me. And the reason is because I have just been reflecting over the last like month going, gosh, why was summer so hard for me? Like, someone who's like in this, I work this like a business. I've been here for years. I know I'm going to be a diamond. Like, why was this so hard for me? And I feel for the most part, like, I'm pretty positive. I do have belief in the products in the company, this business, this industry. But what was missing, right? And I think the one thing that was missing was just that consistency in my thought process. Okay. What I mean by that is, when I am consistent in my thought process, whether that is I start my day off with my prayer, or I'm, doing a devotion, or I'm doing a gratitude journal, whatever I'm doing, that starts my consistency in my thought process, and I maintain it. When I don't, I let all the other distractions, I just lose my focus altogether. And what I heard a podcast the other day, which I'll share in Reboot, because this is going to go back. We're going to take a step back. I know I asked everybody in the Reboot about their fears. That's what we're going to talk about in Reboot this week. But one of the things I realized is that the fears crept in for me, and I'm sure many of you, because my faith decreased. Now, my faith didn't decrease in the fact of I believe any less that Jesus is my Lord and Savior, or that like I have faith in myself, or I have faith in this opportunity. It was that I stopped allowing my faith and my thoughts to be the pattern that helped me stay confident in on my path. Okay. And so the one biggest line that this wasn't our pastor. We had a guest pastor this weekend. He says, we actually believe people more than we believe God. And I started to allow that to happen this summer, of believing what people were saying, not necessarily about me or the industry, or about what other people were saying in other companies, or, other people and what they were doing, or distractions about, I was hearing people say things like, summer is for like letting go and just being with your family and yada, yada, yada. So I started to take on those beliefs a little bit, right? Which those things aren't bad, but I wasn't continuing to stay in my true path and my belief in what the Lord had been telling me from the time I signed up. Like He gave me Plexus as the tool and my vessel to share. And I stopped sharing my faith. I stopped sharing like really my passion for these products and in the business. And I was working it as in I'm going to just talk about it, but not in like I am sharing what I truly believe from my core. It just stopped. And so one of the things in the podcast I listened to last week that I'm going to share again too is, we really start to let those thoughts that enter in our heads. And again, we talk about mindset all the time. And I would say I have a really good mindset. I'm super positive. Yes, that's the way I believe. But I'm still the type of person that I will let a negative thought in, and a thought turns into a feeling, and the feeling decreases my actions. And it's 100% what happens to me. And it doesn't mean that I don't walk around here happy as can be, and I'm with my friends, and I'm doing this, and I'm encouraging, and I'm snuggling my kids, and I'm not happy. It's not that at all. There was a moment, well, a lot of moments over the last few months that thought would pop in, and I would let it sit. I didn't have my consistent behavior of spending my time with the Lord, having my gratitude journal, and being positive. I didn't have those things that could turn that thought elsewhere to allow me to keep going with my actions and my patterns that I had created that were helping me be successful. And so this is just something that I want you guys to think about. This is a whole nother training. This is a whole nother thing that we can share, like we can talk about this, but it really comes down to, is your faith big enough for this? And it's not just in what the Lord's brought to you. It's in yourself, and it's in the opportunity. Because here's the thing. If you have to see it to believe it, you're not going to achieve it. You won't. If you have to see what the numbers are going to look like for you to be senior gold, for you to be ruby, for you to be a jewel, for you to be a diamond, if you have to see what those numbers are going to look like and all that kind of stuff, you'll never be that. Your faith has to be big enough to know that you can get there. And one of the things that he says is, prayer is such a cool tool. Like prayer is that anticipation of, I can't wait for that moment when that prayer is actually answered. And I can say, yeah, I anticipated that. I waited for that moment. I was working with Him and believing with Him and in that trust and in that faith that this would happen. Right. And it's giving yourself that freedom to believe, that freedom to, really believe in yourself and have faith that it can happen. And we'll share, like I said, some more things. We'll talk about it in the Reboot group more specifically, because obviously we addressed some big fears in that group, just personally, that everyone was experiencing. And I think it all comes back to this concept of, our fears aren't so big. It's just that our faith is so small. And I think that that's something that we all need to just continue to work on in strength, because as a team and as a culture, I know that when we are all encouraging each other in that area and we're trying to build up, we're a force to be reckoned with, right? Like we know we are. So for September, I challenge you guys a little bit in that area. You know, whether it's spending more time, more quiet time, reading some scripture, asking me like, hey, you know, how do you do this? How do you fit that in? Like, how do you stay in your game? Because it's in the last 3 weeks, it's changed a lot for me and my pattern in what I'm doing daily, how I'm feeling about everything, how I'm taking care of myself and my family, and just some of the just healthier habits that I've changed. It's helping a lot in the last 3 weeks. And I know that plexus portion is coming because I'm feeling that, and I'm feeling that like exposure to more time and being able to put it all together. So I will be talking more about this in our reboot group this week. Like I said, but if you guys have any questions, I think it's something that I would love to have one-on-ones with, because I don't think what I've had to process in the last couple of weeks, I feel like some of you are probably going to have to a little bit too, to really set those goals for September, because it's taken a little bit of like retraining. Because when you've been off, taking a break, been a little unstuck, it's really hard to get those wheels turning again, and to set those goals. You know, it's like all of a sudden we had goals, and then obstacles got in the way and we lost sight of what those goals are, and we just don't know how to get that train back on track. And that's really what I want to do this month as a team, and helping everybody just get those wheels moving together again. I think that was it. Any questions or thoughts on any of it? I'm happy to see your guys' faces tonight.
No, and thanks for your honesty in sharing that, because obviously I know those things, but I just love the fact that you are not afraid to share that, because obviously I've been feeling the exact same way too. So you guys, my advice to you is that when you're in this place, pick one thing to do, one thing. Like for me, I got off on my prayer time and I got off on my gratitude journal. So those made like the biggest differences in my life when I was really successful. And so I made myself a promise that I'm going to do that. And so that's where I started that. And I've been back at it. And Tracy and I were back on our weekends, getting up early and meeting. So just pick something that's going to make a difference in your day. One thing. That's it. And start there. Don't make it like this big, oh my gosh, I got to do all these things. No, you really don't. Because you guys that are on here, I know, you know the power of prayer and how that can change your whole entire day. So, so I was just happy to have that time this morning back. Yes. Intentionally.
Mm-hmm. And it's okay if you have those plans and then something happens, like your children waking up or a storm keeping you up or someone's sick, or, you know, those are the things that if you're trying to get back into it and those things happen, no, that's not a sign that you're not supposed to get back into those things. It's just a bump in the road. Because I had that my first week. I was like, I was trying so hard and something happened every single morning, but I stuck with it, and you guys can too. So thanks for joining me tonight.
Yeah. Thank you.
Have a good night.